Good morning. Matt Delacruz here with the Winning Minds Group, part of the John Maxwell team. And welcome to Mondays with Matt. Happy Monday to you. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Looking forward to another extraordinary week this week as we kick off this new week. I'm going to start off with a quote this week, and I'm going to talk about, in order to stretch your potential, ask yourself, is it possible? See, some of us aren't reaching our full potential. But again, think about that quote. In order to stretch to your potential, ask yourself, is it possible? I've learned this from one of my coaches. He says, when you ask yourself intelligent questions, you always find the intelligent answers to the questions. And, being out here in Hawaii and promoting my Turning Point event, I talk about my turning points and the turning points that really led us up to the life that we live today. I ask the question, where you are right now in your life, and I'm going to ask you this as well, think about this. Where you are in your life right now, is it the best it's going to get? Is this the best it's going to get? And most people always say, no, it's not. But the challenge with it is most people would rather change everything on the outside that they can't control rather than change themselves. It's just human nature to do that. So what I wanted to talk to you today about, how do we get to that next level? Well, in order to get what you want, sometimes you got to do something that you've never done before. And it all starts with the internal part. It all starts with what I call the circle of responsibility, our inside world. And in the inside world that we have, it's the ability to control the four things. We have to control the way we think. We got to control the way we feel. We got to control our perception of what we see, our point of view. And then we also have to control our actions, which we control 100% of how we think, how we feel, what we see, and what we do. But again, sometimes, even though we have that power to do it, if you're not aware that you have it, and if you're not aware, that means you don't work on it. If you don't work on it, that means you can't build the muscle on that. It's just like working out and building muscle. It's exactly the same thing. So what we have to do is take a look and do what we call inventory check and find out, how am I thinking? How am I feeling most of the time? What am I seeing most of the time, and what am I doing? Because when you ask yourself those questions, you say, am I thinking mostly positive or negative? Am I feeling usually up or down? Am I seeing the good in everything and everyone? And am I doing the right things, the necessary things to lead me to where I want to be? So those four items in the circle of responsibility, you got to ask yourself and do that inventory check. How are you thinking? How are you feeling? What are you seeing most of the time? And what are you doing? Because those four things will determine the outcome and how are you going to get to the level you want to be. So again, the question is are you, the life that you're living right now, is it the best it's going to be? If it's not, then you need to do an inventory check and see how your thoughts are, your feelings, your perception of how you see things, and the actions of whether you're doing or you're not doing. Because again, when you summarize it all comes back to, it's not what you know, but it's how you think, which affects how you feel. And how you feel affects what you see, and what you see affects whether or not you do it or not. So I want you to think about that this week as we raise the bar to a higher level and stretch ourselves to our potential. But ask yourself the question, is it possible? Don't be realistic, be possibility. Don't think realistic, think possibility. And until next week, live with passion, live intentionally, and let's take our lives to that next level. Thanks so much. You make it a great day, and we'll talk to you next week. Aloha.